In the morning. It is Friday. It is Friday. Rockstone Triz, Miss Tony B. Knowing hot sizzling south. We está aquí en el radio estación de radio.
Wow. That sounded very good.
Gracias. Sí. Oh, wow. Sí. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. If you are just checking in or if you've been here for a while, go ahead and press that share button. Give us a share. Let us know that you are here. It is F Word Friday. We made it to Friday, people. We have made it. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. We out the side.
We outside. This is the last day. This is the last nice day. It's about to be raining for the next 2 days.
That's what I heard. That's what my neighbor was telling me in the elevator yesterday. He was like, "This is it. Enjoy it today and tomorrow. And that's it. Then it's gonna go back to what it is
and do what it do."
Sure.
Let me see. Today is Friday. It's a 80% chance tomorrow. Sunday's a 50%, and then Monday is 40% chance of rain. So straight, Rhiannon.
I gotta call in sick soon one day.
It's a weekend.
Call in sick.
Someday next week I got to call.
Someday next week I feel my throat is itching me.
I know it doesn't have school on the 26th already.
That's not the day. Why? Is it teacher professional day?
Yes.
I just don't understand why they can't have a professional day after school.
I'm saying.
Or on the weekend.
This is what I'm saying. What y'all doing on Sunday? Y'all only doing it on
Exactly.
Sunday.
Sunday's a free day.
Be professional that day. Be professional every day.
Exactly. I tell you, boy. I tell you. Oh, is that what the White Stadium is proposed to look like?
Oh,
what the hell are they gonna do? Bruh. Where?
Let me see.
Where?
Wow.
Yeah, right.
What? Where they gonna do that at?
Actually, you never know, because that Macy's down South Bay's
it's
storefront
nice.
Is really pretty.
It is very nice.
I haven't been inside yet, but yeah, that was like, wow.
Just randomly, it says the National Women's Soccer League announced on Tuesday that Roxbury will host a brand new expansion team, which will play its first game in 2026. So, we talked about this the other day. The team will be owned by Boston Unity Soccer Partners, an all-female core ownership group. This team will not be the first women's professional soccer club to be based in Boston. But basically, looks like what the renovations for this, working closely with Mayor Michelle Wu to renovate White Stadium into a premium sports venue and will invest significant resources in doing so. I just don't know. Down there is so congested already. Like it's a big congestion. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But they're
gonna have to get rid of some of the green space.
They're gonna have to if they want to make it into a premium sports, and they gotta open the streets a little bit down there. Mm-hmm. Back there, what's that? Walnut Street, Walnut Ave? Yeah, that is a toit. That is toit back there.
Oh my.
That is where nobody even drives back there. They just all walk. They cats and dogs.
Oh, the cats.
Yes. You don't even see them people come out their house. It's very interesting. But we are here Friday. We are here.
It's Friday. I'm happy. How y'all feeling? What is it? Check-in, Neville's. It's your birthday weekend.
It is my birthday weekend, and it is going to rain all weekend.
So what that mean?
It means it's a wet day. It's a wet fete. Just for anybody who doesn't know, I'm planning a pop-up party. It's gonna pop up on you, so y'all gotta be ready. And at this party, it's a bottles only party. You must purchase a bottle of liquor.
Bottle only.
Yes, we have a diverse array. $100. We have.
Okay, so that's a whole day party.
Okay. And you come in and you have a good time. You buy a little buckle, eat a little food, drink up, drive safely in your Uber. In the Uber.
In
a Uber. Or bring what is it called? A distinguished gentleman with you?
A gentleman friend.
No.
Oh.
The worst than that, don't drink.
What did you say?
Distinguished.
This
Designated driver.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like distinguished
I couldn't get that.
distinguished
I didn't know what that
gentleman.
was. Bring a
Yes.
distinguished gentleman with you.
A distinguished gentleman.
The gentleman friend.
I'm gonna give you guys these cards
Thank
so
you.
that we can. This is how we're gonna argue now on this show. You either agree, we either disagree, or we agree.
All right.
Okay.
We have a civilized way of conducting democracy here.
Democracy.
Democracy. And then if we have a guest, which we will be having a little bit later, he too will get one just in case he would like to argue.
Fix us some drinks.
Oh, with a little watermelon juice in it. All right. I like that. I like that. You fix that flyer too?
Oh.
Yes. We need that.
Before we move on, I come with
bearing
bearing
gifts.
gifts from Yamba Market.
Oh my God.
Yamba Market is located at 580 Mass Ave in Central Square, Cambridge. It is the first Black-owned dispensary in Cambridge. It is Yamba Market, and it's open every day from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m.
Till 11 p.m. for your late night needs.
Wow.
We are the vibe of Cambridge.
OMG. Chocolates.
What these are here are Coast Cannabis milk chocolate bars.
I love these
peanut
Coast
butter
bars.
crunch.
I like peanut butter
I love
crunch.
these Coast bars.
This is
It's
nice.
so good. It's so nice.
Oh.
Don't give me any more.
How much? Yeah, how much do you supposed to eat?
However much you want. 5 milligrams a piece.
I'm
5 milligrams per square.
nervous.
5 milligrams
nervous.
of THC per
So nervous. Insert key
It
or
is
like
Boston
object.
Cannabis Week as well.
It
Yes,
is. It is. I need something to insert a key like.
I got
You
you.
have to insert a key like something in order to push it through because it's child proof, you know, especially for my child. My child love a chocolate.
No.
2.5 milligrams to start. No. I need a little bit more than that, Vicky. I need a little bit. I'm grown. Yeah.
Nah.
No, my little mints that Tristan gave me are 2.5 milligrams each. I only took one, and that was nice.
Two es un
That was
lightweight.
If I have two, then it's gonna be something else.
Two es un lightweight. Me, I'm a big hardback.
So numbers. How y'all feeling?
I'm on a scale of
1 to 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I might be at like a good 8. You know.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
I might be somewhere around a little 5 or 6-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time the show's over, you feel a little better.
Yeah, with this nice little nougat right here.
That's what y'all. Where's your cup, Tony?
And my little nougat.
I'm feeling like about a 6.
6?
Maybe
Really?
like a no. I lie. I feel like a 7.
Yeah, I'm in a really good mood. I'm in a good
You know
place.
why? Because of my big age, I'm still in my mama's house, and my mama out the country.
Mm-hmm.
She's in London.
You home
And
alone
it's
like
so
Kevin.
nice. The house is so peaceful. I cooked some salmon last night.
Me
But
too.
you know, make some nice baked salmon and rice and with a Caesar salad. It was good. And a little sweet corn.
Oh, that's not nice.
We had a salmon with mashed potato, and a little vegetable.
Is this too big?
That's
No,
5.
That's 5 milligrams. You good.
Oh no, let me snap that in
all
half
right.
then. Y'all
It's first of all, that's a very wonderful chocolate. It is very that's sweet and that's sweet and salty type of sprinklation on it. Really gives it a defined taste, a defined flavor in my mouth.
Taste the weed in it.
I taste the weed and then you don't take no damn weed.
I like it.
5 because work is annoying. Yes. See,
Janet said eat 15 milligrams at a time. I'm not messing with Janet.
Janet is a professional.
Janet had me sitting in that damn couch so deep into my couch one time with that damn ice cream. I was deep down in the couch.
Deep down in the couch.
And
anyways, what'd you do last night? Anything fun?
We went to the park with the boys. Hung out. The boys were
That was a tad kidnappy.
Why?
Because ain't nobody know where you went.
I told y'all I was.
No, you said I was going to the park, and when we have a park in front of our house, the assumption would be the park in front of the house.
Anyways, I kidnapped Danielle's son and took him to the park with my son.
And they had a good time.
We had a good time. We went and got pizza. We hung out. It was a really, really nice time. Watched the sunset. We saw a gender reveal. We saw many, many children playing soccer. We watched planes fly overhead. It was quite a time. The boys got their superpowers yesterday and befriended all the little boys in the park, recruited them, and they formed a superpower team. It was quite cool. And then I went to my mom's house, and Hot Sauce and Mommy made salmon and green beans, and I made mashed potatoes, and we had a little dinner time.
This mother person over here is chefing it up with these watermelons, okay? He is making a concoction.
Vicky, I don't understand why you would be passing out Canna Butter Babes cookies last night at Boston Cannabis Week, but not passing them here to Spark FM.
Good question, Miss
Oh,
Tony.
what's this, Tristan?
Huh?
What's this here we made here now?
What is it? Tristan?
Watermelon tequila.
Oh, Father.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Cheers. To Hot Sauce's birthday weekend.
Hey!
I feel like your birthday fell on a weekend last year, too.
It did.
This year,
It was on a Saturday.
What did we do last year for your birthday?
Also, not a damn thing.
Maybe we should put some pineapple juice.
You don't be
Yes, I got
celebrating.
little pineapple
That's
juice.
kind of strong.
I don't want to taste it.
Taste it.
I let it go by my lips. I didn't taste it. I didn't let it go by my lips.
It needs a little chesando in it. But anyways, people, let's get into El Show. Let's see what is going on. Saucy and Friends starts right now. You put some in it? You did, right? Yeah. Saucy and Friends starts right now. And I'm not sure if I'm going to finish this birthday drink, but whatever.
You're going to finish it. It's good.
It's good. Spark FM Online. Let's go.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
I feel like it's time to start the show.
Vicky, you can bring I'm gonna DM you where to bring the cake to.
Yes, right now.
No, not today. She's gonna Sunday.
So today is Friday. It is Friday, the 22nd of September, 2 days before the Queen's birthday. It is going to be AM clouds, PM sun. So cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. High in the 69 degrees, winds in the northeast at 5 to 9 per hour. You got to grow up.
Stupid.
That's like saying balls, you know?
Balls. Giggity.
Okay, let's get into it. Friends-inspired Central Park Cafe will open in Boston in 2023. What the hell that mean? Oh, where you go sit down on the couch and meet all your good friends.
Is that replacing Cheers? Is Cheers still open?
I think so. Cheers is
Okay.
the one on Commonwealth, both Commonwealth, BC,
No, it's down.
BU.
No.
You know, it's really messed up how they jacked Friends. I mean, how they jacked and living single. How Friends jacked and living single.
Because that's what white people do. Central Park Coffee House, based on the cafe at the center of the sitcom Friends,
Cheers
will
is-
open its first ever location in Boston later in 2023. So, hey, New York, how do you like them coffee beans? Central Park Coffee House, a new cafe based on the fictional hangout spot central to the beloved NYC sitcom Friends, is opening its first ever location later this year in Boston, not New York City. I would like to know why. Much like fellow 90s NBC sitcom Seinfeld, Friends felt like a love letter to the Big Apple, telling the story of a group of young Manhattanians navigating life in the big city. But Warner Brothers Discovery Global Themed Entertainment and Senper Holding decided that Boston was the ideal spot for the first location of its cafe, with Central Park planning to open its doors on 205 Newberry Street later in 2023.
Wow.
Why here?
I just found out Cheers closed.
It
It did close. Okay, it did
know
close.
Why?
I didn't know that.
Oh, Dee me too. Smelly cat, what are you eating?
What the hell is Smelly Cat?
So
From Friends.
Phoebe on
yeah.
Friends,
Oh, Lord.
she used to sing, and she came up with a song called Smelly Cat.
Mhm.
And that was it. That was it. I was a big fan of Friends. Were you guys a big fan of Friends?
No.
I'm mad last year because I was definitely inside of Cheers and trying to get some food, and I left because I got a call and I had to leave, and I never was able to get inside of Cheers.
Oh no!
And it was like literally like probably the last one at like it was like Carnival weekend, so that it closed August 22nd, so I had to be there this closing weekend.
The company is already selling a line of its coffee products via its website. The product names all recall the show's lovable characters and endlessly quotable lines, with customers able to buy "How you doing?" medium roast, pivot blend with medium dark roast. We were on a coffee break with dark roast. Oh my god, gold brew blend and Gunther espresso and the Moo Point decaf. That is
Mm.
nice. That is nice. You've got to really know Friends to really find the nostalgia in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go watch Friends again. I'm gonna go watch that.
Go watch and Living Single.
So this popped up. So you guys know that black man who does all of the anti-racist research. He got a dreadlock. This one, you've seen him before, right? He was on the cover of Boston Magazine once. So Boston University announces an inquiry into Ibram X. Kendi's Center for Anti-Racist Research. So Boston University officially announced this week an inquiry into the management and culture within celebrity author and historian Ibram K. Kendi's Center for Anti-Racist Research. The review follows complaints received after an unspecified number of center employees were laid off and a pre-existing review of the center's grant management practices. Kendi, a 2021 winner of the MacArthur Genius Grant, came to BU in 2020 from American University to found the BU Center for Anti-Racist Research. He is a professor of history and the humanities. Kendi's 15 published books include How to Be an Anti-Racist, which was published in 2019, but surged into notoriety following the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. He's been featured on a lot of different programs here in Boston, have spoken on a lot of different platforms.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
So they're just, I guess they're launching an inquiry into why so many people were laid off or let go. But I just feel like, ain't every company laying people off and letting people go?
They did because especially during COVID, a lot of people, there were a lot of layoffs and stuff after or during COVID, weren't there?
Yeah.
So
they said that we received complaints after the Center for Anti-Racist Research recently laid off a number of employees. Those complaints focus on the center's culture and its grant management practices. We previously initiated an examination of those grant management practices, and that will continue. Based on additional information provided to us, we are expanding our inquiry to include the center's management culture and the faculty and staff's experience with it. Sounds like some racist shit that they trying to do to this man for the anti-racist research company that he started. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like everything else. Like it sounds like the white men who are suing the black VC funding people because they feel like they're discriminated against. It sounds like you have an anti-racist research center, and we should inquire about this center and the culture around it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What is that? What do you want to? What culture are you? What culture should there be at this anti-racist research center? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That just means that we don't want to mind our business, and we want to go in here and figure out what we can find out to discredit this man's research.
And why?
Because we're white, and that's what we want to do. I think something is going wrong in there. I should go check it out myself. This is strong. I'm drunk. It didn't even get in your bloodstream yet.
I'm just so sleepy.
It didn't hit your esophagus yet.
I'm not drinking the juice. I'm just eating the melons.
That's what I'm gonna have to do too.
It ain't that strong.
It's
What is
you
it?
say it ain't that strong. So that's what's racist is happening. 2 JetBlue flights hit by laser strikes near Logan Airport. They might need to shut Logan down a little bit and redo some. Get the MBTA people to come over
Yeah,
here.
let them
do
do it
some-
after October 10th. Shit.
But this is people shining lasers at the planes.
Oh,
From their houses.
I
in
never
East Boston.
understood why. I thought they banded that for a long time. One of
They
those
banned it,
laser,
but
those
people still
laser
doing
things.
doing it.
It just doesn't make any sense to me when you would see a plane taking off and you want to shine a laser in the pilot's eye just because it sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have some fun today. Let me shine this light in the pilot's eye, who's in charge of getting these people to their destination
And
in
then
the
what
sky.
happens if you're successful at foolishness? Then you feel good. You feel like you accomplished something in life.
Because you killed everyone. I mean, this is the state of people that we're in right now. Like, people literally don't make any sense and they don't have much scruples. This is very not smart people.
Yep.
Let's go to the clip and find out what is going. That looks stupid. Everything that everybody's doing just looks stupid. We're going to have to tell a whole bunch of stupid ass stories today because
FAA is investigating after 2 JetBlue planes reported being targeted by a green laser. Both incidents occurred about 5:40 this morning while the planes were landing at Logan Airport. No one on board either aircraft was injured, but according to the FAA, shining a laser at a plane is a serious safety hazard. The beam can flood the flight deck with light, temporarily blinding pilots during critical phases of flight. 9,500 laser strikes were reported in 2022.
Wow, 9,500. That's a lot.
Ari Samar
because people again, the conversation goes really right back to what we were talking about. At what point do you say this might be entertaining, but this is hella dangerous, so maybe I shouldn't? Or is that just not a common sense? Like, what age does common sense supposed to kick in? Is there a scientific thing
Is it a
there?
male or a female?
Oh, that touche. Touche. Climate crisis. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu calls for more urgency. Yesterday, so all this week there was the Globe Summit that was going on. Well, the last 3 days there was the Globe Summit. Yesterday, I watched one about the nightlife here in Boston with Rob from Pew, DJ Real P of Silk R&B, and it was Corrine from the director of nightlife here in Boston. And they had a lot of very interesting things to say all the time about, the nightlife here. I think it was mostly around, like that late night situation, clubbing and eating.
Yep.
A lot of people really have a problem with the fact that we don't have any late night eating spots. And I do too, because why not?
Me as well.
Why
definitely
is it so
do.
hard?
How you gonna have us be open until 2 and then close the eating places at 1?
Yeah, we
gotta
get
eat
hungry
something.
after. Like, that's how you start to sober up. I guess, like if you're out at the club, they're assuming that you're drunk. Or you could assume that I need something to eat in order to sober up.
I don't know. That's Paul's always like, there's nothing to eat in Boston after a certain time.
Yeah, there
This is
isn't.
why I love New York. This is why I love New York.
I mean, what New York? I mean, they do. Do New York have like places that are open, or is it more so like like little jump in real quick and get a little rice and like a Chinese food?
There'll be certain places open.
The halal guys be open all the time.
What halal guys? Where?
In New York?
Oh, in New York, those little carts on the corner.
Yeah, they
They
the
be open.
tacos.
Oh, the tacos.
The tacos be open, and then
I mean, we have little spots here and there.
a little
but
jerk chicken on the corner.
I do love a jerk chicken on the corner in New York.
Yeah.
That is a good thing to do.
I thought, So this is about climate change.
Yes.
But I'm gonna put the I have the link here.
Does it because it's the Globe? We don't have access to that. I'm not paying.
I know. I thought Hightower was gonna hook us up.
I know. Hi, Ty. Is you listening right now? And if you are listening, can we get a little subscription? Hello, this is Spark FM. How can I help you? You are live on air.
Happy birthday, Sauce. First and foremost.
Thank you very
Secondly,
much.
Please don't ever eat from the halal spots in New York. They don't wash their hands. They dirty. Don't ever do it again.
You know what, Christopher? You are not supposed. That is not true.
Do you hear Jess in the background?
What she said?
She's like,
Don't
don't
do it,
eat
don't.
from there. Don't do it. Don't. don't eat from them because they don't got no sink in them little huts.
No, but it's not that one. It's the ones that they got stores too. They got storefronts, don't they, Chris?
No.
You stars, don't do it to yourself. I'm telling you, don't eat. That's the number one rule when you go to New York. You don't eat from them trucks on the street. You don't do it. I don't care what it is.
Not even the taco truck, Jessica.
No.
Nah, I'm gonna eat from that taco truck. That taco truck.
That's what I'm saying. We sure did eat from that taco truck. It was nice. Them tacos was
good.
Street tacos.
I learned it. It was good.
Eat some more.
All hyped up at the church.
And I didn't have no problems.
Me, that was good.
My immune system is nice.
Didn't half of y'all go to Chick-fil-A? Who went to Chick-fil-A?
I went to Chick-fil-A because I'm obsessed. Okay, hold on. They left?
Yeah.
So hold on. Do we agree? Halal taco trucks in New York or no taco trucks in New York? Agree or disagree?
I agree to the taco trucks in New York.
I agree to the taco trucks. Okay.
I agree.
We voted here and we like the taco trucks in New York.
Yes.
Y'all like our signs? We got signs. We're gonna be voting today. We're gonna vote on the things. Let's see. The Globe.
I agree, Vicky. A nice restaurant from
But
10 p.m.
Boston-
to 4 a.m. would be really, really good here.
I'll start the story.
So go ahead. Oh, Boston. Go ahead. Boston Mayor. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, speaking at the annual Boston Globe Summit, said the leaders at all levels of government need to accelerate plans to fight climate change. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu called on leaders at all levels to help climate change. Wu's comments came during the third day of the annual Boston Globe Summit when she sat down for a conversation with the Globe's Washington, D.C. People to talk about it. I feel desperate and impatient every day seeing the headlines, thinking about the world my kids are going to grow up in, and then coming up against the reality of systems that take a long time to move. Let's sit on that one a little bit because Michelle, we're waiting for massive gas. It's staggering when you think about
that, but your child isn't going to grow up in the same world these children are growing up in. So
it's staggering when you think about how much we need to do and how little attention is actually being focused on this. This sounds crazy to me. We love Wu, but the same risk. I mean, I guess climate affects us all over the place. However, like this is something that we should be talking about when it comes to, like the unhoused and the addiction problem that we have over here. I know that climate is, important, but so is addiction and unhoused. She also says Wu clarified that this urgency isn't even reflected in the policies of the city government by complicating efforts to think about long-term sustainability in the fact that climate change is wreaking havoc on a nearly weekly basis. Emergency preparedness is essential, she said, as her administration balances keeping residents safe in the immediate future and in the decades. So, Tristan, you're into climate. Tell me what this means. What are we facing here?
It means that around the whole world, there's like record-breaking everything. Right now in Greece, there's fires right now. There's forest fires and all that. We see what's been going on in the Midwest and in our country. We've been having flash floods almost every week, like the historical flash floods that they've never seen, almost like Noah's Ark type thing, biblical, literally biblical type floods. We've seen what happened in Libya, and Libya had 8 months worth of rain and something like half a day in like less than 12 hours.
Was that? Oh yeah, 8 days of rain. They said. I remember that.
No, they had 8 months worth of rain.
8 months will rain in like a couple of days.
And no. In a couple of hours.
Oh,
they had 8 months of rain in less than 12 hours.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes, without
that sounds
any
crazy.
warning. That's why we have about 12,000 people down there missing right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Climate change. I told y'all, man. That's my biggest fear is climate change because I see what's going on is evident, and I know mankind, and I know mankind is greedy. I don't see these people. I don't see these oil industries, these fossil fuel industries at all backing down. They're going to continue to fuel and continue to make all that money.
So these efforts, go ahead.
What can be done now? Can it be reversed?
I mean, it's the only time that the emissions went down in the world is during COVID.
because
the
everybody was inside.
Yes, that's the only time that
Oh.
we've seen a dip with the world emissions right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the cars?
It's
everything.
It's everything. It's the
But
cars.
I'm saying, at this point, are we trying to reverse what's happening, or are we just trying to slow it down from happening?
That's why they're doing certain things, like trying to implement all the electrical cars and stuff. And in a couple of years, I think they said 2030 that like electric cars, there will only be electric cars allowed on the road. And they're trying to do a lot of things. But at the end of the day, these people, the meat industry is a big contributor to it because of the methane that the cows produce. The fossil fuels, oil is always going to be there. I don't know. This is a difficult.
See, it seems like it's really it's kind of confusing to try to figure out what can be done. I don't know. This doesn't have anything to do with it, but like all the foolishness that they're doing in the streets for like the buses and the whatever to help reduce it. Because over there by Mass Ave, I don't know who came up with the plan for Mass Ave, and we're talking mostly in front of, the whole of Mass Ave, from about the hospital all the way to like Columbia Road. It is a absolute travesty.
It's a clusterfuck.
It's 100% that. Like it is the worst. It is the worst. It's worse than American Legion Highway.
Mm-hmm.
It is an absolute disaster over there. I'm not sure who was the bright figures that came up with that.
Not at
but
all.
It is absolutely and utterly ridiculous.
Yeah,
in the article, Wu said the big picture is we are aiming to be a fossil fuel free city that includes everyone. This is going to take work. This is going to take working as fast. Where did they go? As fast as we can, but also ensuring that we are putting the equity in the city. She touched on how transportation impacts climate change. This starts with the bell-guarded MBTA, where safety concerns and reliability issues has caused commuters to lose faith in the transit system. So, she said the city has a unique ability to impact the T's bus system, although the city's vehicles are owned and operated by the transit agency. Wu's administration controls how streets pace is allocated, adding things like dedicated bus lanes and properly timing signals, efforts that go a long way.
This is, I don't know what to do. I'm afraid we're going to have to all go back in. Like we've been saying on this show oftentimes, lock us down, Joe.
Yeah.
Lock us down. Maybe we don't need to be on lockdown the way that we was, but maybe we just need to spend some more time inside the house.
Yeah, I agree.
It's getting, I think for our own mental health and capacity, we got to do that because we are losing our minds.
I'm gonna lock myself down. Y'all don't have to
unlock you,
remote me into this show.
And tragic accident. Attorney for Boston man accused in death of a 12-year-old brother. Oh, remember that we were this is the update.
Yeah.
Tragic accident. Attorney for Boston man accused in the death of a 12-year-old brother says of a fatal shooting. So a defense attorney for a man accused in the shooting death of his 12-year-old brother in Boston's Mattapan neighborhood called the incident a tragic accident as his client appeared before a judge Thursday. Walter Hendrick, 22, faced several charges, including manslaughter, unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition, possession of a large capacity feeding device, and misleading police investigation into the death of his younger brother, Savion L. I know a little boy named Savion. How old was this boy?
12.
Oh. The shooting happened on the afternoon of July 13 inside of the apartment house on 35 Fessenden Street, according to court documents. Boston police found Savion shot in the chest on the kitchen floor. The boy was taken to Boston Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Assistant District Attorney Julie Higgins said the gun that shot Savion was in direct contact with his chest and his older brother's fingerprint was found on the trigger. Let's go to Kajefa Yakashin.
So he shot him?
12-year-old Savion Ellis was in direct contact with his chest and his older brother's fingerprint was found on the trigger. 22-year-old Walter Hendrick is seen here briefly as court officers were escorting him toward the courtroom. The magistrate allowed Hendrick to remain out of view of the courtroom during the arraignment today. Family members were present, though, including the woman who's the mother of both the victim and the defendant in this case. Hendrick is charged with numerous felonies, including manslaughter for the death of his brother, who was shot directly through his heart on July 13th in the family's home on Fessenden Street in Mattapan. Savion Ellis died at BMC. His brother, Hendrick, pleaded not guilty to all charges.
The evidence against this defendant, though, is very strong. The defendant's print is on the trigger. The firearm is located near the defendant's wallet that contains an item with another fingerprint of the defendant's. The defendant misled the initial responding police officers, providing them with false information early on in this investigation.
The magistrate set bail for Walter Hendrick at $250,000 cash. The family declined to speak to reporters after the arraignment this morning. Reporting live at Suffolk.
Who is that police officer?
What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do with that information? That's
what
crazy.
Didi says. How was it an accident? If his fingerprint is on the trigger and it was direct contact with the child's heart, that's murder with intent. Like Didi said, that's not an accident.
After the crazy part is after the shooting, Hendrick allegedly made statements that Savion had been shot at a store and had returned home injured. In the heart, sir? He had shot in the heart. The defendant denied hearing a gunshot. The defendant denied being near Savion when the accident happened. A firearm was found resting on a fanny pack in the basement of the home. Court documents state Hendricks allegedly told officers the semi-automatic weapon that fatally injured Savion was his and that he kept the gun in a fanny pack. The Commonwealth recognizes that this is a horrific tragedy. There's a mother who buried her 12-year-old son and has another son now charged in that death. Hendrick's defense attorney said that her client is remorseful and wishes he could trade places with his brother. This is a tragic accident that affected the family in this case. The mom is in the courtroom in full support of her son while grieving her other son. Hendricks, now of Roxbury and previously of Mattapan, was previously arrested on charges of unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, and improper storage of a firearm where someone under the age of 18 has potential access. Hendricks was held on a $250,000 bail.
Oh, look what Lawanda said.
What?
She said the brothers would always play with these guns. I heard that the dead brother would be at Norfolk Street Park being a nuisance, threatening kids on the playground with a gun. A little 12-year-old one.
Oh. What culture is in that home? You know, like what do we that is one of the most disturbing statements that we are like. So he, I don't know.
Oh, she said her cousins have had interactions with this family about the gun stuff.
See, like this is what I'm upset because not saying that the child, that a 12-year-old should be gone, but like if we are playing with guns and having a good old time and threatening each other with them in the house, then I don't know if young Hendricks should be in the jail because this is, I don't even know.
And how old is the other one? The older one is 22?
22 and 12. And y'all are playing with guns to the point where the baby wants to go out and start threatening people with guns as well.
Yeah. Guns, though.
You live by the sword, man. You live by the sword. Vicky, we know what culture is in the home, which is the problem with lots of homes. No, that is true. And in these homes where there is little to no parental guidance and these children are being left to raise themselves, you know, like you have no idea what they're learning and what they're going through. This story in general is just tragic.
It's
like
an American tragedy.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Like a series of unfortunate events.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know. Well, when we are done with our Around the Way news for right now, when we come back, we'll be talking to Daniel of A Black Dollar. He will be talking to us about everything that he has going on from an artist perspective, from a married perspective, and also from somebody who advocates and champions the Black Dollar and making sure that we are setting ourselves up for wealth and health. We'll go into a quick commercial break. We'll be right back in a few few seconds. Keep it locked right here. Spark FM Online, number one for urban and Caribbean music.
Turn it on. Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com.
Miami, get ready on Sunday, October the 8th. Get ready for Togetherness, the Boston Invasion, Miami Yacht Cruise. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Unice Promotion and Glenn presents Togetherness Miami Yacht Cruise. It's the Boston Invasion, white and lime green edition. Music's gonna be by Vital Rhythm, DJ Idrin, DJ Alfredo, Selector Q45, DJ Chester, and Tempo Rhythm section from Trinidad. VIP sections are available. It's all aboard the Music Yacht, located at Bayfront Park, 301 Biscayne Boulevard in Miami, Florida. Boarding time is at 5:30 p.m. Departs at 6:30 p.m. Returns at 10:30. Tickets are only $75, and the day of is going to be $85. Purchase your tickets at togetherness.eventbrite.com. This is a 21 plus event. Club ID is required. Contact Unice at 617-719-3972 or Glenn at 508-507-4413 or contact Darling 786-614-1449. That's right, Miami crew, get ready. It's the Togetherness Miami Yacht Cruise, the Boston Invasion, white and lime green edition. Get your tickets now.
Cannafan's high-profile Bodega Cannabis shop is now serving Boston in 3 locations. Be sure to stop by Dorchester, Rosendale, and Roxbury for the best prices on OZs and J's. Not to mention edibles, carts, concentrates, and more. Download the high-profile app on the App Store or Google Play to keep up to date on Boston's best bundles. Experience the best prices and see how we roll at High Profile Bodega. Visit highprofilecannabis.com for additional details.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
The all-new Spark FM.
You're the baddest one.
Spark FM. You are now listening to Spark FM. Spark FM. Spark FM. New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
DJ Y Sham from the 617 to your backyard.
Hey, 200-300 D's going crazy.
Bonnie and Clyde, just double the weeds. Better took when I squeeze. Not a name. Make them say daddy please. When they down on their knees. Fried ain't me. Ain't no bitch like we. Bonnie and Clyde, just double the weeds. Better tuck when I squeeze. Not a name. Make them say daddy please. When they down on their knees. Fried ain't me. Ain't no bitch like we. 02 1, 2, 4. We the ambassador. Got Sham on my passenger. Cause she real quick to clap at ya. Talk shit straight vernacular. Got all the bitches like the bachelor. Real big ass, I pick it up. Run the campus like the chancellor. Real booty, no chance of the cross my that's blasphemous. Never thought we would pop. It's miraculous. Trying to eat, ravenous. Neighbor doing that justice. Squeeze the that's bliss. This had to give Christmas. Yo, where'd you get this? Always hit when y'all miss. Never scared to hit a lick. This wife now he pissed. Chocolate with that wet Swiss miss. Rock a we are the misfits. Never made trial, it was dismissed. Bonnie and Clyde. This is Thelma Louise. Better took when I squeeze. Not a knee. Make them say daddy please. When they down on their knees. Fried ain't me. Ain't no bitch like we. Bonnie and Clyde. This is Thelma Louise. Better duck when I squeeze. Not a knee. Make them say daddy please. When they down on their knees. Fried ain't me. Ain't no bitch like we.
Francie, flag.
I do what I want to do. Sharon in the city, she is a clue. Never fuck a bro, get a clue. With me, I got the whole too. All the gangs with me out here. Just know they can't touch me out here. Low key with the Nissan out here. Don't know about my racks. Don't wanna get plat. Sham told you that's that. When you book us with a break that. Sit you with a fence at. Up next year we got the back. Wanna know where the down. Wanna know where the at. Earth shake when the clap it. One with gadget. One with a bunch of gadget. Only 8 inches can fit it. Couldn't intensive fit it. All the money, yeah, no I get it. BGM, we running it. Can't fuck 'em with a fun in it.
Yerb, that was our very own Brandy Blaze, right out of Boston, Massachusetts. If you don't know Brandy Blaze, then I'm not sure exactly where you're located in this world, but it's not the right world that you're located in because that is our Zoom. We's own.
What are you saying?
I don't know. There's a lot going on in my brain. Welcome back, Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. If you are just tuning in, if you're just getting here, call us up or don't call us up, but give it a share. Give it a share, 617-272-3387, or just press that share button right where you are. Today, we are sitting with a very, 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 very important person who wants us to be better and do better. We are sitting with the founder and owner of Black Dollar, Mr. Daniel. How do you say your last name, Laurent?
Laurent, yeah.
Laurent.
Everyone over pronunciates it.
Laura.
Exactly.
Laurent.
Exactly.
Oh, like I used to Laurent.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm gonna start calling you now.
Don't
Daniel is Laurent.
People will ask me, they're like, "How do you pronounce your last name?" And I'll tell them, and they'll still introduce me, Daniel Laurent. I'm like, all right.
Laurent.
But that's where DL comes from. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy.
Yes.
But
I get it.
But literally, and this is like a long time ago, but when I was really like making my bones, what is that? When I was making my bones, you know, and doing shows or whatever, and it was hard for people to.
You said making my bones?
It's a saying. You never heard that before?
No.
Like, it's a saying.
It's that's what they say. They say it all the time. You know what it means.
It's like basically just grinding and doing your thing at that time.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Royal oats.
No, that's different.
That's
well, this is Friday, so
making my bones.
But like when I was doing shows and you know what I'm saying, like the music's blaring and people like, yo, what's your name? And I'm like, Daniel Laurent. And they're like, Daniel what? So I'm like, DL, right? But then Oprah came out with the big expose, Brothers on the Down Low.
Yeah.
At that same time. And I'm like, all right, exactly.
That's Oprah that did that?
Oprah, yeah. It was based on what happened with Terry McMillan.
Yes.
Stella Gator Group.
Yes. And then her husband ended up being different.
It was
Yes.
based on that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, bad timing.
That voice you're hearing is Mr. Daniel. And go ahead and introduce yourself one time because you're a natural at this. You just jump right in.
No pun
I like
intended.
this.
No pun. I'm ready for you. So
I can't be drugging and drinking and having this.
Daniel Laurent, you know, I'm an artist. I think I'm just an all-around entertainer, you know, and I take the craft seriously. I love hip hop, you know what I'm saying? I study the greats. And I recently became a filmmaker, you know, Cry for Me, domestic violence, sexual abuse.
And before we even move on, the filmmaker that made it to the film festival, And several of them. And you are not only like he is a music artist, now a filmmaker. He is an entrepreneur. He is a husband. Like I know when people come here and they be all humbled about all of the wonderful, amazing things that they have going on, I be wanting to go across the counter and fight y'all because it's like, yo, you out here doing the Lord's work.
Well,
and I know you.
Well, the thing is, in our communities is always funny, right? The people who are the loudest are typically the ones who aren't doing really anything.
Hello,
right?
Say it.
And it's the people that sit on the couch and they're always like critiquing other people. And so I really believe, be the change that you want to see in the world. And so that quote, and I actually have it hanging on the front of my door. So every time I come in and out, I see it. Coming out again, pause.
Every time he makes one of those, I'm gonna take a sip.
Nice.
Me as well.
So, but I think that imagery and visuals are important, and I just want to contribute to the ecosystem, right? And I come from a time in hip hop when you started rapping, originality was important. If you sounded like somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody would accept you. You couldn't come into a cipher, and I don't know what people call it now. Maybe
it's still a cipher.
If you come into, you know what I'm saying, and you start rapping and you sound like whomever, you sound like Nas, like get out of it. You know what I'm saying? But now it's cool to sound like somebody.
That's true.
And so, obviously I'm not going to attract the fans of, Lil Baby per se, right? Or Glorilla per se. And that's fine. But I know that there's still people that listen to the music that I make. And I want to be intentional about the messaging. I don't want to preach to people.
With what do you think about the state? I mean, this is not why you're here, but while you're here, what do you think about the state of hip hop as it is right now? You mentioned some of the newer people. I more so like the Glorillas and the Sexy Red. No, I won't I'm a female, so I'm gonna name off. Girl gang.
So with that, I think I never thought I would see it. So it's dope.
You think it's foolishness?
No. Well, just the influx of women are running, with the exception of like Drake, right?
Yeah.
But women are running hip hop.
Drake is
you know what I'm saying?
Wearing a plethora of barrettes and
fingernail polish.
That's it. Yeah. I mean,
Brazilian
certified lover boy.
Crossover.
Yes.
Certified lover boy. Because I also remember a time where there was only one, and people would say that. So there was only Lil' Kim. There was only Foxy.
Yeah.
There was only Queen Latifah. And then she tried to bring in like Moni Love, but then, I don't know. But it was only one.
Yeah.
And then you had like, Bahamadia, and you had, the Brat,
classics,
and you had like Lady of Rage,
more conscious, yeah.
But now it's just like,
yeah.
But I know some dudes who I know and love who like, I don't listen to female rappers.
But even with the male rappers too, like there's, like we had the mumble. I think for a while we had mumble rapping, and then that kind of faded out, and now we have all of this what is it called, drill rapping, and then we have all of this kind of stuff. I feel like we're going further and further away from what hip hop was originally supposed to be.
Right.
The
life
message.
And the message, and getting the story out there. I think now we're just kind of clickbait.
Or the business got involved.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think if you look at, and it's unfortunate, and that's why, LL Cool J recently did an interview on the Breakfast Club, and he was with the Roots because they do the Rock the Bells. And what he said was, we could spend time being bitter, or we could spend time being better. And so he created the Rock the Bells tour and that whole kind of franchise. And basically he gave ownership to Roxanne Shante, Fab Five Freddy, the founders that didn't necessarily get their just due.
Everybody that,
you know what I'm saying?
Everybody that he features on Rock the Bell has a percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then,
really?
And then even creating Rock the Bell's radio, he did that because he wasn't being played.
Right.
But then instead of being selfish, he shared it with the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's more my mindset of like, yes, I think drill is definite. But again, it goes back to what I just said, is that people are followers. So whatever's hot, like when Crisscross came out, there was a ton of, and I love, you know what I'm saying? But like, I also gravitated more towards Illegal. That was the other kid group. And I loved ABC too, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not familiar with Illegal.
No,
Me either.
No.
Illegal was dope. It was Maul and Jamal and
Okay.
It was
Illegal.
yeah,
They were
yeah.
a boy band?
Not a boy band.
It was
A boy rap group.
Yeah,
group.
Eric Sermon put them out. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
really?
Yeah, they were dope.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
dope.
But
Hard too.
Triz, you know Illegal?
But
They're
that
dope.
leads
They're
me
dope.
into, I mean, what you're saying leads right into what you're doing, which is Black Dollar.
Yeah.
And Black Dollar was created because of what?
We have issues, man. You know what I'm saying? We have issues. And again, I think, there's obviously tropes that come with Black businesses and Black services where it's like, that's why I don't go there. And that's why I'm, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So that's a real thing. However, I wanted to really lean into why these things are happening. And what I started understanding, and I became a little more empathetic about it, was it's the entrepreneur. And I even heard yourself, like when you was talking, last time I seen you and you was talking about everything that went into the festival.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the entrepreneur that has an idea and you create something and then it's getting it out to the market.
Yes.
But it's so many things in between. And I'll take you out of it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But like, say if somebody wants to, start a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you want to make sure you have a great cook. You want to make sure you have a host and wait staff, right?
You want to make sure you
But
have a place, a
place,
location,
yes.
and you
But
have,
you want to make sure that the decor matches if you're a Mexican restaurant, but then you come in and it looks like you're selling dog treats, it's
Mhm.
weird.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you come in and a person, and this is I won't name the place, but I say it offline because another thing with Black Dollars, I'm always intentional to not blast Black businesses
Yep.
online because that's literally dollars
Yes.
that you are costing people.
Mhm.
And I think for us, we have a natural distrust amongst each other for various reasons, right?
Mhm.
But then also we don't give each other enough grace, and no pun intended to grace by Nia, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we don't give each other enough grace, and we'll go to Strega and we'll go to Cheesecake Factory,
Mhm.
and the food will be
And
cold.
be disappointed all the
Yeah,
time and
but
still
we'll
go
still
back.
go.
Don't give ourselves
Yeah.
enough grace.
We don't give ourselves enough grace, and I think the expectation. So it's a multi-tiered thing, right? Where our expectations, I think, are a little warped whenever it comes to us. So, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a rapper, as a hip hop artist, if I make a record that I think is dope, right? I'll put it on a flash drive. Back then it was a CD, whatever. I'll put on a flash drive and I'll write a Sharpie and say, the new Daniel Laurent, fire, right? See 50 Cent and give it to him, or see Puffy and give it to him, right?
Mhm.
I wouldn't present myself that way to Jimmy Iovine.
Mm.
I wouldn't present myself like that to Clive Davis,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
But because Puffy and Diddy, because they're them, I feel like there's a, you know what I'm saying?
connection, yeah.
Or you go to a restaurant and then the price is $20 for something, right? And just because they look like us and you're from where I'm from, that's not a restaurant's not a good example. Let's say you're going to a pop-up shop and a person's selling t-shirts, right? Can I give you $10? Right? Just because the person looks like you and me doesn't mean it's now all of a sudden let's barter.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we're
Mhm.
quick to go to Newbury Street and Boylston Street and we
just give
don't,
the money
you know what I'm
over.
saying?
Yeah.
And so, but the flip side of that, because I think a lot of the conversations are always one-sided, for the consumer,
Mhm.
for the business owners, there has to be a certain amount of grace and understanding also.
Do you think that business? Go ahead.
Oh, no. So I'm looking at your, because what we're talking about, and I'm looking at on your website for blackdollarus.com, and it says this is your action plan. So you're actually speaking to these action plans as you're talking now. So do you want to go through each of those, or because you've already hit on some of them?
I think, the goal for me is, and the reason why I started Black Dollars, increase the dollar from 6 hours, because there's a statistic, and it's a couple of years old, but it says the dollar circulates in our community 6 hours.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
I have that one. I just pulled up. According to the Black Star Project study on the racial wealth gap, calculates that the dollar circulates, this is $1, in the Jewish community 19 days.
19 days. It stays.
It stays in the 19 days.
Uh-huh.
In the Asian community, it stays for 28 days. In the white community, it stays for 17 days. And in the black community, 6 hours.
6 hours.
Which, you know,
that's probably gotten less now.
No, it
Well,
might
it probably increased a little
it's probably
bit. Certain
increased.
cities and certain cities
Yeah,
is probably.
I think, but you know, and so people are like, you know, either you have different people that fall in different buckets. So one is like, oh my God, that's unbelievable, and that's how can that happen, right? Then you have people like, yeah, I can see that. Then you have people like, well, you know, it's because we, right? So it's different buckets. But I think that the reason is we literally, and I think from a certain generation down, it's changing a little bit, but we believe that white ice is colder. So we literally, if there's a black person, a white person selling ice, we'll go to the white person and buy their ice. You know what I'm saying? And
because
so,
we so hot.
Saucy.
See what I did there? You see what I did there?
It's so hot.
You think?
But I think, you know, it's
have a sip.
it's multiple things, man. That
we've been brainwashed though.
Well, yeah, and it's inherent. And so I use this example, like there's a family member, you know what I'm saying, who I had a lot of back and forth with about something. And I think from a generation of people who are 55, 60 and up, if there's a Asian heart surgeon and a black heart surgeon, they will immediately,
you got that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got that.
You know,
it is
even though a black man performed the first heart surgery.
Hello.
Well, there you go. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
He is also a problem, but
but there's
no, not him. Oh, you're talking about
ever.
not
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But there's at the same time, there's different type of people. I wouldn't go to the Asian doctor because granted, we don't have the same anatomy. Unfortunately, you're not the same color as me.
That's
I feel
fair.
like the black doctor would know
Would
more
understand.
about the black biology
deep.
versus an Asian doctor.
Yeah.
Somebody else said it here. Luanda said we have low expectations for each other. I feel like our expectations might be a little bit too high.
Well, I think that they're warped. They're either too high or they're
Okay.
too low.
Touche.
And so,
Yeah.
and people could say, like, how can they be too high? Me, I'm very, very simple, right? So I equate it like when I used to go to the jewelry exchange downtown. You walk in and they're like, oh, I don't need that, right? I don't need that clamoring, but I'll use like Home Depot. If I go in Home Depot and I do need help, I don't want to like scour the store looking for help to help me.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So I love if I go into a business, I'm greeted. Hey, how are you? Is there anything I can help you with? Oh, I'm just looking. My name is Daniel. Let me know if you need anything. Beautiful. You get an A+, right? I don't like it. And this is what I was going to say. Going to the previous place years ago, very popular staple in the community. You go in, the people don't look at you. And then the person will say, yo, what up? What you need? And I say nothing and I walk out. I'm not buying drugs.
Excuse me?
Exactly. Excusez-moi.
What?
Yeah. So, you know.
So as somebody who advocates and champions for the black dollar and knowing these type of this imbalance of how we feel about, so maybe I'll rephrase this. I feel like there is a trending movement to support the black business. And I feel like that is trending online, but when like it ends up going down to after we support this black business, we feel like we have the right to now, you know, like
criticize them
criticize them or point out all of the things that they are doing wrong and things like that. So it also pushes back in the community because when you start to see these things online, we were having this conversation today. One of the restaurants, Hugh Back Bay, got a really, really great review from Darius Cooks, who is a celebrity restaurant reviewer. And he gave Hugh like one of the best, that people in the comments from all over the world, like this was the best review he's ever given anybody ever. I have also watched people from Boston give that same restaurant review. And it was not that.
It wasn't glowing.
Yeah. So like, how do you like? Who do you believe?
But
what
you know,
do you do?
everyone's it's just like people, right? Your relationship with this person may not be my relationship with this person.
Exactly.
And so going into a restaurant, they do have off days, right? They might have somebody that called out who was the lead chef. And so now it's somebody, you know what I'm saying?
They might call somebody in when there is other, where there's more at stake,
like,
perhaps.
Those are real things. However, you know, and I just spoke to somebody a couple of days ago who, has been meaning to go to Grace by Nia,
Mhm.
right? But like just calendars didn't align. But she also was super hesitant to go because of all the reviews that she's seen.
Yes.
But she was like, I'm going to go on Friday and I'm going to try it myself. And then she went and she loved it and she put up a review and whatever. And I just feel like, I typically, and I've called myself like the Black business ghost whisperer,
Mhm.
right? Because friends of mine would post stuff and I would call them and be like, take that down.
Oh.
And we would have a conversation or whatever. And then I'll call a business owner and tell a person directly what happened or whatever. So there's a place where a friend of mine who I she posted something and was like, this place, blah, blah, blah. And, they went and scooped ice and they had their nails in it and they didn't have gloves on and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yikes, like, you could kind of not.
That could have been.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, she's right.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I'm saying? So,
but where is that line? Like, I think this is a great conversation because where is that line when you say something about something and you kind of give that leeway or that grace? Go ahead.
So like for me, I love supporting businesses in the hood. I love supporting the restaurants, the barbershops, whatever. I love when it was around COVID time, everybody was at home selling food. I was one of those people that was definitely buying food from everybody, supporting everyone. Now, as a patron, one thing that I hate is that I've been going to one place for I'm 36. I've been going there for 25 years of my life.
Okay.
And there's not much that has changed.
Black owned?
From Black owned.
Yeah.
This is the problem that we have in Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan, is that we end up going outside because these people are not reinvesting back into their own businesses. They're not doing much we spend a lifetime literally spending money. And you're not seeing much. You're not seeing where your money's going.
Where your dollar's going.
Yeah.
You feel like a tax-paying citizen. Like where my money going exactly? Because there's potholes on my.
Y'all ain't gonna do nothing about this.
At a certain point, you want to see. I mean, times are changing. Everything right now is at a different level.
Yeah.
The food, you have to step it up. Whatever you're doing right now, if you're a business owner,
you have to compete.
You have to step it up because there's competitors out there that's killing the game.
Yep.
And unfortunately, our folks feel like they get very lazy or very content.
Yep.
And that's how and now we have places. Right now, we're in a very different. I tell everybody right now, this is a revitalization of a Black Renaissance in Boston.
Word.
We have the potential to be the Atlanta of the East Coast right now, with the Black dollars coming in with the dispensaries, the high-end restaurants, the mayor's cabinet. There's so many, the BECMA, Boston Wild Black, Spark FM. There's so many people out there working towards Black excellence. But unfortunately, you have business owners that are just doing the absolute bare minimum, if not. And that's one of the biggest problems we've had.
And you're always going to have that, and God bless, in the words of Nipsey, right? Nipsey said, circle got small, everybody can't go, right? And so your point is the other part I was talking about as far as the business owners. I think that, having a business and understanding, budgeting and reinvesting your dollars into the business. Yeah. If you have a business where you have a leak in the ceiling and people are coming in from the public, right? At some point, there should be a plan to fix that.
Yeah.
Otherwise... and I think a lot of times,
if the people keep coming, why would I fix it? I feel like that's the double-edged sword.
That's a short-sighted, but see, that's why the dollar circulates longer because. So say the business is beautiful. They reinvest their money in the blah blah blah, right? We go and we support them all the time. However, when it comes to Spark the Block, they're not contributing and pouring into you, or they're not doing their own free family kids day at Franklin Park, or whatever, right? If we're taking our money and we're going to Dubai and we're going to buy Gucci and we're not keeping that money in the community also. Yeah. So I always speak from both. It's not just the consumers who have to make this work. It has to be cyclical. Absolutely. Otherwise it gets broken.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of, and so what I try to do is customer service is important, right? And for me, it's the most
Oh,
important.
please say it one more. I want you to I want to take a pause on the cause. Customer service is so important. You could have the shittiest business.
Yeah.
And if your customer service is on par, you might get away with having a shitty business. Yeah.
And I use the analogy all the time because I worked in a dermatologist's office in Chestnut Hill, high end, multi-million-dollar organization. And I pretty much helped contribute to build the customer service program. And so if you have a strong customer service in your team, when the doctor's 45 minutes behind, or you made an appointment today at 10 o'clock, but you get there and it's not on the books, the person to be a little more forgiving because they called and they were able to get in. They were able to find parking. Everyone was so friendly when they walked in. You know what I'm saying? The person called and said, "Oh, just want to let you know we didn't get your referral." You know what I'm saying? But when everything's bad, and then this happens also.
It's true.
And so, I just did a business seminar. I did a workshop yesterday in Rhode Island, right? And it was creating a pinnacle customer service experience.
Oh, amen.
And so one of the things that I have in my slide is, what is your pickle? And now that sounds kind of dirty.
Drink for that.
Find your pickle, baby. So, but it's a video that this guy made. He's a business owner and he had a fast food restaurant, and they would always, as a token of appreciation, they would give extra pickles.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, somebody stopped giving the pickles.
Oh, no.
And a person complained and wrote him a letter and said, "I'm never coming back." Right. And so he said, like, who made this decision? Right. And so he went and talked to his staff and whatever. And so he realized it's not the literal pickle, but it's giving a thank you, a handwritten note. You know what I'm saying? There's a garbage truck company. Their pickle is when they go around and they collect trash, dump the trash. They'll start people's lawnmowers for them if they see them struggling. And that's just a really nice gesture to do. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
And so I think a lot of our businesses don't put time into finding the pickle.
I really do. I appreciate you saying that. I want to get into some of the comments Malika said, but I think Black businesses are not consistent, especially for food. One day it's bomb and you go back and it's trash. I always feel like Black restaurants have the same menu. Mass Bay Cannabis says Rockstone is raising the bar. Nice work. Accolade. And then Lawanda said, I would tell my staff all the time, only tell people what you can do, never what you can't. I agree with that. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
What can
no one
you
cares.
do? Yeah.
Well,
and that goes with customer service too.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I can't do certain things. However, what I can do is
you bring
whatever.
It, you close. Well, it's also a mentality, and I teach this to my kids. Hopefully they get it, or they will get it. But no one cares, right?
Yes, that's true.
Like, if I'm supposed to pick you up at 9 and bring you to the airport, you don't care that my muffler fell off and I hit a cat on the way there. And like, none of that matters. Either I can do it or I can't, right?
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
What I've been going through in the last 2 weeks. Like, this is not your business, but I need to tell you so you can understand why I need you to care. I know you don't have to, but I'm gonna customer service you enough that you do care about me. Yeah.
But the empathy is important from both sides.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that we're living in a time where it's just gotten worse and it's more toxic and it's divisive, and it's tough to show empathy. But then, you take that, so I'll make that statement and someone will have the argument of, well, when we do show empathy, right, you have all the scams that come out. And I know you mentioned something earlier, right? And without touching on that, because who knows what the case is. However, it's just like we as a community have to be super mindful of how we're moving around and double cross the T's and double dot the I's, because it sucks when we get to a certain space and we are actually in a place to really like change some things. But then, like, our closet is a mess, and there's rats running around, and it's like, really,
All the things.
you know what I'm saying?
That's where we are right now. We're unfortunately our people are naive. They like to be ignorant. They don't want to vote. There's a lot of things that we can do to put ourselves forth, and we simply refuse to or just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to say is, do you think that segregation was beneficial for us? Do you think that there was a time when the black people dealt with black people only? And do you think that was a better time? Do you think that's something that we should implement again?
I don't have a hard yes or no.
I'm only talking as far as business. I'm not talking about actual
not
segregating,
people.
separating. I'm just talking about when it comes to
I think that's a tough question, right?
There's you have Jewish people, you have the Asian folks, you have a lot of folks that stick with their own race when it comes to business. They won't look for anybody else outside of their culture
They
to
don't
do
need
the
it.
business.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, even if there is somebody that charges more than them, they will pay somebody that's of the same culture that's charging them more versus a person that's charging them less outside of their culture, just to keep it in their culture.
I don't see. That's always a tough question for me too, because I have to deal with my financial and budgetary constrictions versus supporting when I need. They're both offering the same thing. One happens to be black, but they are cheaper. Shit.
Well, I think so. So Black Wall Street, right? And that's always something that's like mentioned and heralded. That wasn't like similar to HBCUs. These things were created because there was no other option. We had to do it, right? So it was black businesses and black business owners, and we all supported each other, and we had to do it. I think, other communities don't have the reality of the American experience that black people do. And so I hate a person. Let me take that back. I don't like when a person leans on that every single day of, I can't get ahead because of the man. I can't do this because of the man. And
Slave mentality.
It's absolutely true. However, when it comes to, again, we could spend time being bitter or we could be better. But also don't be a Ben Carson or
say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas or Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever, and say
Tim Scott.
and basically act as if these things don't exist. Act as if redlining's not a real thing.
Yeah.
Act as if HBCUs are historically underfunded, right? But what I say to things like that is the people that did go to HBCUs, and shout out to Puff, and he just, donated what he did. I think that everyone that came from HBCUs that are making a certain amount of money should, just like church where you pay tithes, there should be a certain thing every year that you contribute to pay back, because that's what Harvard does. That's what the
alumni is absolutely.
That's, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's it's intentionality. And so Black Dollar, the motto is intentionality is the only option.
I believe it's 9% of HBCU alumni that actually contribute back to them after.
Which is crazy.
What is
You know
it
what I'm saying?
on a very what do you guys think is the reason for that? Like, I feel like, I don't know, just for me personally, but I feel like what makes my program different than, like, what makes our program different than other people where I want to give back?
I just think that black folks are distracted. Period. Point blank.
There's too much going on for us to focus on what's important.
We have been programmed to be distracted. We were talking about hip hop earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the names of hip hop. Think about the names that have been through hip hop, our genre. Started off as hip hop. What does hip hop mean? It's fun. It's hip hop.
It's culture. It's vibes.
Yeah. It's hip hop.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Went from rap to rap. What's rap? We spitting game. I'm talking to you. We conversing. Now it's a different type of level, right? From that, I went to gangster rap. Now we just getting a little more dark. From gangster rap, we went to what?
Trap. No, not
trap.
We went to trap.
Oh, trap. Yeah,
I like trap.
We went to trap. What is trap telling you?
Yeah.
To kill, murder, kill.
Trap is telling you how to sell drugs.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about doing the drugs.
Yeah.
Trap. You know what I mean? Now it's what? Drill music.
Yeah.
Now we drilling it into you. The trap music, the music got more sinister. The beats got darker. It sounded like it could damn near hypnotize you. Now it's drill music. and it's drilling it into you. The kids are out there confessing whatever they've done.
I think that's
saying the
social
worst.
media culture too.
No,
though.
that's
it's
also,
a coupling
that's also
of
the
all
labels
of that.
too.
I think
that's also the labels too.
I think I think I contribute a lot of that more to social media, right? That
Me too.
exists.
Social
and
media
I think
just came out the last 10 years. Bro.
But I think social media, in addition to us, as far as like, my generation failing, right? Because there was a time, and I think this is a lyric,
passing the torch,
where like, we respect, and not that one is better than the other, because they're both detrimental to our community.
Yeah.
But there was a time where we respected the seller and the drug dealer and celebrated the drug deal, and now we're celebrating the fiends and the junkies.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like growing up, it was just say no.
And don't get high off your own supply and all kind of
exactly.
things. Yeah.
Now it's like, so, but I think, and it just happened with Nicki Minaj's husband, right? Where he's on house arrest and he's 45 years old and he's outside making threats.
Street corner.
So, but
probation.
The thing is, I don't mind him doing that, but the moment you take out your smartphone is where it's weird.
That's where social media. That's why I think that social media. Like,
You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
like the culture of all has always been that underlying hip hop culture, whatever genre or subgenre comes out. It's always been there, but now it's even more amplified, and people are trying to prove that they are this.
Yeah.
Like before, you actually had to see me outside in the game doing this.
Yeah.
Now I can just show you, and I can go viral for showing you, and that's crazy. In the interest of time, though. Not only are you an artist, so this conversation is personal to you, and not only are you an entrepreneur and you champion the Black dollar, you are a father, you are a husband, and all of this.
Depends on the day.
Depends on how I
What's
feel.
today? Friday?
Today's
yeah,
Friday.
Let's get it.
How has that all helped to shape you and the trajectory that you're on when it comes to what you do?
I think it's helped me look at the world, you know what I'm saying? And the reality is, God willing, I go before my kids do. And so what do I want the world to look like? And I care about that.
I think
I'm
going to stop you right there. Just now when I went in there to get you, you introduced your daughter as your legacy.
That's
not
her name.
necessarily. Oh, that's her name?
Yeah.
Oh, that I was like, oh, okay.
That's dope too, though.
That's
This is my
dope.
legacy.
But it is because she is.
Yeah.
so
that name, which was a big name, and it was important because she was my firstborn. And it's a big name, but I believed. Now you have names, people name King and Messiah and
Mercedes,
Lord.
Yeah.
Sonata and Sinesta and
Simon
ibuprofen.
Heaven. Yes,
exactly. So it's massive.
Riot.
Yeah, well, it's more riots than anything. But I think that especially me having girls. So I have 2 girls, 1 son, and I'm kind of going off, but I'm gonna bring it back. There's definitely a societal norm where older guys will be attracted to younger women. And it's celebrated, just is what it is. 40-year-old with a 20-year-old.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm genuinely not attracted to younger.
Yes.
And so Lotto, I think, is a pretty young girl. However, and what she talks about, that's why it's always a conflict for me. Because it's so sexual, but I don't look at her that way because that's my daughter's age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, the same way when Trump would say something like, yeah, my daughter's beautiful. If I wasn't her father, I would definitely date. It's like, that's a weird thing to say.
That's a very offsetting thing to say.
Like, I feel like Diddy in Young Miami, like that's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? That's like, his son should be more,
Yeah.
But, all I can do is just be who I am, be vocal about it. Even with the domestic violence piece, that's part of why I did that film.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a very dark subject.
Tell us about the quick synopsis.
So it's called Cry For Me. It's a song that I wrote, and I made a music video, and then I made a short film, which is like 20 minutes and 1 second. And it shows a real situation that just spirals out of control.
Yep.
And I wanted to show, typically when it comes to domestic violence situations in real life, they don't end so well. And without saying like names, because the film is actually dedicated to someone. It's just, it happens a lot, you know what I'm saying? And we see on the news where there's stabbing or shooting or whatever. And it's just, I grew up in a time where, yes, there was crime. For sure, women were being raped, right? That has happened.
Mhm.
But as far as like women being killed and shot in the car, and like, I just don't
Like
remember seeing that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Again, I blame social media. But
Well, it amplifies it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it's not to say it didn't happen, but I just don't remember. But, you know, so I did this because 9 out of 10 women who I know and love have somehow been a survivor of it.
Mhm.
And going on this journey and talking about the film and showing it. And it's weird because I'm talking to people who either the women have been victims of it and now survivors, maybe still a victim of it,
Mhm.
or they grew up with it. So they react a certain way and their body language shifts.
Yeah.
And I see it. I'm talking to men who actively are doing some things
That
or they've done it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I see their body language shift.
Mhm.
So, you know, but I feel like it's important. And
And this is not your only film, too. You're only important. You did one before that
well,
got
Soul
into.
Intact was that was a video, but I did that intentionally. And thank you for
Thank you,
what I'm
because I
saying?
am featured
Yes,
in it.
yes. And so, you know, I don't know if anyone out there has seen the entrepreneur video with Pharrell and Jay-Z, and it was all black businesses.
Yeah.
I basically took that idea and wanted to make my own version for people who are here, who I know. Because the other part of Black Dollar is I don't necessarily want to just herald you because you're black.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because your service might be less than standard.
Mhm.
So there's a Black Dollar approved kind of standard where, like, if I know you are doing these things and I support you and I stand by you, I want to highlight that.
See, that's I appreciate that, and I think onto that conversation that we were having before is that the same way that we are good to give out, dissatisfactory reviews,
Mhm.
we should be just as excited to give out a really, really good review
And celebrate,
because
yeah.
there are some businesses out here that are doing the work, that are reinvesting, that are
Mhm.
doing the things that we're asking for, but you don't even really realize that they're there because nobody's talking about them. It's a lot more
It's all the
fun
complaints.
to be able to, jump on one and complain.
Well, no one says the chef did a great job. It's always that
Mm.
my food was colder. There's hair in the food. You
Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, so Cry for Me, that's in festivals right now. There's actually
A
it-
lot of festivals.
yeah.
There's
So
been-
it's gonna be shown. There's a showing in Arlington at the theater. I don't have the information offhand,
The
but
theater.
and it was just at the Coolidge Corner theater Tuesday night, which was dope. Shout out to Secret Society of Black Creatives. Again, intentionality, right? We're all the Black creatives that are here, all of us coming together intentionally. So you have filmmakers, directors, writers, gaffers, sound guys, everyone coming together to make this happen. And there's some other stuff I'm doing. I'm gonna put together my own event. I think in November. I was gonna try to do it in October for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but I also don't want to step on other things that's happening because,
Mhm.
especially as a man, as a Black man, I want to be intentional to be an ally and use my voice.
And be sensitive
You know what I'm
to
saying?
those in that community.
And women
Yeah.
typically, the reality for you all is you're speaking in rooms where you're often talked over.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And so, like, I want to be mindful of that. And so even when I'm in spaces, I try to not do that. And then I'll catch myself. I'll say, I'm sorry, but
You got that.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and so from there, Wedlocked and Loaded, the podcast I have.
And this is about you and your wife.
Yeah. So it's not we don't call it a relationship podcast per se, but I think that it deals with a lot of things, multifaceted relationships,
Interpersonal relationships,
parenting.
period. Yeah.
We don't necessarily deal with a lot of hot topics unless we can bring that back into a personal thing. So we just recently talked about Iman and Tiana.
Oh, yes. I
which
love
is,
it.
you know what I'm saying, which is sad. And it's just like, but we brought it back to, like, when do you know it's time to walk away? Because we've done therapy for 10 years or so, whatever. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't go to therapy. They don't feel like they need it. And so this is our medicine in the candy, where we're given tools that we learned from therapy, and we'll put it in a way where it's
that's
palatable.
good, because
You know what I'm saying?
oftentimes people who have podcasts about relationships and all kind of stuff, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Go on, sit down.
Everybody
so
talks.
hearing it from people who are in the game, who got skin in the game, who have been doing it for a while and have figured it out somewhat, because I'm sure you're always still figuring out.
It's the best it's ever been, though, man. Like it's. I had to make a lot of adjustments. You know what I'm saying?
As a black man.
As an artist, it's selfish. You know what I'm saying? So everything I do dictates what tomorrow is.
Mm-hmm.
But being in a relationship is selfless. And so I can't, you have to find a balance.
Yeah.
And that was difficult, and I would do stuff where I go to shows and she's there supporting me and my biggest supporter. And she's standing here. I literally would thank everyone and hug everyone and skip over her and like hug.
That's how I feel about Spark FM.
What? Did she randomly just what?
No, I can relate it to an exact story, but I don't want to get into it right now because that would lead into a different conversation. But it's the same thing. Like everybody's right there, and then you'll just kind of skip over it. Not that you intentionally did that, but because you almost feel so comfortable with it that you don't even recognize
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna be there. So
exactly.
So I get that part, and but again, intentionality. So I say intentionality all the time. I say put medicine in the candy all the time, because I think after Nipsey was murdered, I really reevaluated, and I was so heartbroken.
Yeah.
And I remember what I felt like when Tupac was killed.
That was one of our
You know what I'm
last,
saying?
man.
And so I just want to be intentional about everything, music, imagery. And, there's a new song I have. There's a Revolue, which is an app. I don't know if you've seen stuff being shared.
Do we got your music? Because I don't feel like we got your music, and I feel some type of way about that.
No, I don't have any of your music.
All right, well, I'm gonna
gotta get those in.
So there's two things, and so
that's crazy.
Well, listen, so there's
I see a website here though, so I'm definitely gonna grab some.
So there's two things. So the Revolute, so the song "Calculated Hit," which is a brand new record, and that's gonna be an actual new technology. It's a new app where you can remix videos, and there's a lot of different components to it. But it's called Revolute, and "Calculated Hit's gonna be the lead single for it. So I'm excited about that.
When is it dropping completely?
October 1st is the event at the Grand downtown at the Seaport.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be the unveiling of the app. And, it's basically for investors that have invested in it. And it's like a thank you to the investors.
Send it to us so we can post it.
I'll send you that. And then I'll send you the song. And then when I leave here, I'll get each of your sizes. And I'll make sure I drop off because I'm right around the corner.
Because we like gifts.
And the thing that's important is I'm saying that on the camera and it's documented.
It is documented.
Right?
Run
So
it back.
You don't bring it, we gonna sue your black ass.
Circulate that black dollar.
Can we play
I love it.
A snippet
Take
of
that
Cry for
dollar.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are actually playing the video right now.
What is it? What video?
Cry for Me. This is a video by Danielle Laurent. How do you say it?
Laurent. Just DL. DL's easy.
You see, we still use the
The first base, can't touch it.
This is called Cry for Me.
Change the subject, not in a woman fuzzy, no longer hands in public. Competitions on who could stay longer quiet. No more home cooking, strictly top ramen diet. When we're together, I feel at my highest. But now you're coming home late, seems a bit defiant. We now sleep with our backs kissing.
Are you kidding me right now?
To me equals to division. Listen.
To my desire, I ain't lying when I say the one I need. Yeah, nobody's near you. Clear up in a review. Baby, let me hear you crying out for me. Crying out for me.
Oh. Wait a minute. Is this your wife?
You wanna break this down?
It's beautiful.
You want to break down the concept of the video?
She's all right. So what happened was, and this is in the film, it's a little more stretched out. But what happened was, we was having a moment. We was listening to music in the headphones. Right. Shout out to Silent Party King. We were listening to music. She ended up getting a phone call. She took the phone call and said, "Hey, I'm gonna call you back."
Ooh.
Right. It could be alluded that she's cheating, right? But she could simply just tell her girlfriend she's gonna call her back.
Yeah.
Because of my own insecurities and my own assumptions, it escalates. And so now she comes back and I'm not interested. And so she's like, hey, She's like, are you serious? And so I'm ignoring her, and she pops the headphones on me, which then escalates it. And then she walks away and slams the door. So then I'm banging on the door, telling her to let me in. And again, the film is a little more, stretched out.
Yeah.
But I made it a point to not show any physical violence in the film or the movie because we can assume what happened. We don't need to see it. And so the next scene after the door slams, she's in a mirror.
Bombing.
She's exactly. She's brushing her teeth. And in the film, you see it more, but she has a big bruise on her neck. And so what I do is come behind her and I see the bruise, and then I cover her bruise with the nightgown instead of kissing or saying I'm sorry, which typically happens. So, there's people that definitely have said they wanted to beat the S out of me.
Yeah. I mean, I can, even from that little snippet that we saw, it was very emotionally, like, you can tell what's going on, exactly what you're saying. You can see the dynamics of everything. And you made that just to kind of highlight how silence being.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's accountability, man. And women, a lot of spaces I've been in with victims turned survivors is women talking to women. I want to be intentional to talk to men to try to prevent additional victims.
Finally.
And there are people who we know and love who have done things, right? And what do we do about that? It's tricky because you love the person, you have that relationship. It's not your job to out them. It's not your job to hold them accountable. But like, what do? You know what I'm saying? And there's also people that we know and love who have been victims of said people.
Yes.
And so, you know what I mean? And it's just in our community, it's so complex. But
there's you deal with a lot, and that's why I'm excited that you were here to kind of touch on every little bit of thing that you do. And I think it leads to a longer conversation. That's why you're so, so important to this community, because you do have a lot of these very tough, sometimes even controversial conversations, and you make people feel okay about talking about them. So I do commend you for that, and do have to recognize you for all the work that you do in the community. We see you out here. We see you doing your artistry. We see you, like bigging up the Black dollar. We see you just kind of all around making sure that you're practicing what you preach. So we wanted to thank you for that. And we think it's important that people like you are featured on this show to resources wise, and just continue to do what you do. We're watching you, and we're grateful, and we're appreciative of that. And this is obviously not going to be the last time that we talk to you, because
better not,
we got to get into all these little things.
Yeah.
When you drop the next project, we want to see you. We want your music, and we want you to know that you have a home here at Spark FM as an artist and as a business leader.
Does she say that to everybody?
Nope.
Thank you, my love.
That's
Thank
the first
you.
time I've ever heard.
I appreciate it.
Before you leave again, October 1st.
October 1st at the Grand. There's the if you go to, I think it's revolut.com. I'll put it on the page underneath y'all's underneath this interview on y'all's Facebook.
Oh, good. So that we can see.
That way, yeah.
And then send it to me, and I'll put another post.
Yeah, and basically, like, it's a new technology. So the same way you could have invested in Facebook or YouTube, and we kind of missed that window. This is a new technology people have been working on for years and years, and it's really dope, and there's some really powerful people involved. And so I think the minimum investment is like $99 or something. You know what I'm saying?
But it's
and so I'm involved in it, and I believe in it, and that's that. And the last thing, October 1st, I'm releasing a limited drop of purple hoodies that will be domestic violence,
nice.
Black dollar hoodies, and it's gonna say corrective action. Course correction is the only option.
Hello.
Yes. And half of those proceeds are going to go to 2 different organizations that I support. I didn't officially tell them this yet, so I don't want to announce it.
That's fine.
But
we'll take the exclusive when you do.
Yeah. So those 2, and then I have a pink hoodie that's going to be released for cancer awareness.
Absolutely.
Because my aunt passed, not from breast cancer, but from cancer.
Yeah.
And I have a video I did that I'm going to release with the thing. And so I'm selling the hoodies, for $100, and half of it goes to
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel, so much for coming and being with us and hanging out with us. We really do appreciate you. Right after we sign off, we're gonna get your autograph and your pictures taken, so that we can flash it into the world and let people know that you was here.
I love the flash.
Take a drink to that.
Find your pickle, baby.
Find your pickle. Spark FM Online, number one for urban and Caribbean music. Saucy and Friends will be right back.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rock.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com.
Miami, get ready on Sunday, October the 8th. Get ready for Togetherness, the Boston Invasion, Miami Yacht Cruise. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Unice Promotion and Glenn presents Togetherness Miami Yacht Cruise. It's the Boston Invasion, white and lime green edition. Music's gonna be by Vital Rhythm, DJ Idrid, DJ Alfredo, Selector Q45, DJ Chester, and Tempo Rhythm section from Trinidad. VIP sections are available. It's all aboard the Music Yacht, located at Bayfront Bar, 301 Biscayne Boulevard in Miami, Florida. Boarding times at 5:30 p.m. Departs at 6:30 p.m. Returns at 10:30. Tickets are only $75. And the day of is going to be $85. Purchase your tickets at togetherness.eventbrite.com. This is a 21 plus event. Club ID is required. Contact Unice at 617-719-3972 or Glenn at 508-507-4413 or contact Darling 786-614-1449. That's right, Miami crew, get ready. It's the Togetherness Miami Yacht Cruise, the Boston Invasion, white and lime green edition. Get your tickets now.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-Made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Want to give your baby a head start? Get the best protection against flu and COVID-19. Because their immune system isn't fully developed at birth, babies need additional protection. When you get vaccinated while pregnant, it can keep you and your baby from getting sick. As they get older, this can result in more time in school and daycare for them, and more productive time at work for you. Vaccines are safe and effective for children as they grow. No matter where you are on your pregnancy journey, flu and COVID vaccines can boost your and your baby's natural defenses and protect your family. Stay up to date with your vaccines. Stay healthy. Talk with your trusted healthcare provider today. Brought to you by the Boston Public Health.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
The all-new Spark FM.
Them not like me, I mean not like them.
Spark FM.
Come on. Hot, sicker than your average.
Spark FM.
Chick a man be ballin', deep chick pigeon toed, some of them be crawling.
Spark FM.
Oh gosh, it's me again.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Yes. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are back. Miss Tony, Rockstone, Triz, Hot Sizzling Sauce. We outside, we inside, we all the sides. In the interest of time, any news stories that pointed out to you that you think the people should know this weekend, Miss Tony?
Oh, yes. So the two adults that were killed in the crash in Orange County in New York.
Oh, yes.
It was a school trip going to band camp, and the bus flipped over. 2 adult chaperones died, and I think there were 40 students on the bus and 2 other adults. So that happened. 2 Las Vegas teens have been charged with the murder and a videotape hit and run of an ex-police officer. Did you see that? Did you hear those videos?
What was it?
The teenagers are in a car, 2 of them, 16-year-old driving.
Oh, and they hit the man?
They hit the man. He's an ex-police officer and kill him.
I saw that video and I was livid.
Yes. And so the guy who was charged, so they're charging both of them, the driver and the passenger. The driver was like, I'm a juvenile. I'm going to get off. Watch, I'm just going to get off real quick. So that's an interesting story for you guys to go and look at.
I think that they should put them in the jail and whoop their behinds every goddamn day.
Whoop them out.
Whoop them out.
The Senate now has ditches their dress code and made it more relaxed because of that one person who wears the hoodies and the shorts all the time.
Yeah.
So now you can wear hoodies and shorts all up in the big ass Senate.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
In the Senate,
you can wear t-shirts.
That's the thing that in those big politician places, I don't feel like they should have to wear suits all the time, but I also feel like shorts and hoodies is inappropriate.
It is highly inappropriate. It's not okay. It's
Yes.
not okay. Yesterday we talked about that poker player with who faked the cancer to get the GoFundMe money.
Yes.
He has to. The GoFundMe is returning the money to everybody that donated. Remember, he raised $30,000 to $50,000. I think they said
they should make him pay back everybody that donated. Again.
Yeah. And speaking of payments, there's an artist who has to pay a museum $77,000 for submitting 2 blank canvases, and he named it "Take the Money and Run."
I like it. Why they do that to that man? That's art.
That is art.
That is
art.
Blank ass canvases. Take the money and run. He has to pay them $77,000.
Art is left up to the interpretation. If that's what he interpreted that to be, leave that man alone.
That's
Give him
what
his
he did.
money.
This is a sad story that I found. This headline: a veteran fried chicken cook died after fainting and falling face first into his wok of hot oil. That's a true story.
He had a heart attack?
A veteran fried chicken cook.
Yes. A veteran fried chicken cook.
He fainted and fell into his hot oil?
Yes, a Malaysian fried chicken cook died when his face fell into a wok of hot oil. Liu Yokai, 58, was cooking a chicken dish when he fainted. His assistant and several other hawkers pulled him to safety, but he died in the hospital an hour later. He fainted, fell face first into the hot wok.
That's terrible. Hot wok.
Wow.
Hot wok.
Too soon.
No.
Too soon.
No.
And our last very interesting story, straight from Essence magazine. A white woman wins. White woman wins Miss Universe Zimbabwe. A white woman has won Miss Universe Zimbabwe. The big win for the 21-year-old Zimbabwe native and model has been met with mixed reactions online because she is representing the African country as a white woman.
Crying actual. How did that happen? I know. You know, like, being divisive, equity, economy, all of the words. What do you do about this situation?
The critics say that the woman won because she's white. And a Black contestant should have been selected to represent the country where most of the population is Black. All those beautiful melanated women, and you telling me the European woman won a contest for Black people, said one Twitter user. Yes, Miss Zimbabwe is a white.
How? Jesus. How did she get to it? Like, we can't get mad at them for picking one of the options that happened to make it through all of the other competitions for the same competition.
Why did you enter it?
That's the first question.
Why, Brooke? Why?
I get
white woman.
No, I get why the white woman would enter it because it's white privilege. But at the same time, y'all didn't have to give her no privilege, and y'all didn't have to crown. Is that your queen?
Oh, yes.
That's your queen.
Yes, that is your queen. She will go on to represent Southern African country on the world stage during the upcoming Miss Universe pageant this November in El Salvador. There it is.
Miss Zimbabwe.
That's it.
Zimbabwe.
That is the national news.
And then quick headlines. Cardi B defends Offset after Nicki Minaj's husband's house arrest. Cardi B says she's taking a break from social media.
How long of a break?
Good,
1 hour.
That's good. That's good.
50 Cent reacts to ex-employee pleading guilty in $2 million fraud mess. And I'm pretty sure.
He was trying to. He had like an assistant or something steal a bunch of money from.
I mean, and he probably reacted in the most ignorant with 50 Centy way.
Absolutely.
And that is
absolutely
what we're used to. We're looking for the video. In the meantime, Jenny, is it Mai or May?
Mai.
Jenny Mai did not cheat on Jeezy with Mario Lopez.
I didn't think so.
They would be cute though. That baby would have little to no facial features. But ever since Jeezy filed to divorce Jenny Mai, one particular unfounded rumors gathered steam online that she cheated on him with Mario Lopez. But we're told that all that rank speculation is a load of bullshit. That's what they're saying. It's a load of bull.
As a crock of it.
A crock of it. What else? What else do we have in the headlines?
Krishan Rock is being called out for not supporting her baby's head.
Yeah, she had the baby in a carrier, and the baby is just like flat back.
What is that?
The baby is in. I saw one of my Facebook people say today that like we got to stop being so quick to be like called DSS. We can't. We cannot not be quick about this. How is it that the baby is hanging off of the front of friggin' you and you don't friggin' notice? The
baby's almost in a backflip.
I don't
like
think
what's happening?
She doesn't look like she cares much.
It's got to be fentanyl.
Lord,
it's fentanyl. Angus Cloud died from accidental overdose of fentanyl and cocaine.
Is it accidental? If you know you're doing fentanyl. Nigga, you was on the show Euphoria about kids doing drugs.
You don't gotta whisper.
You don't. Am I whispering?
Yes.
Oh,
but no, it's true. Like he was one of the lead actors on Euphoria about drugs, and he accidentally died from an overdose of fentanyl and cocaine
and meth
and more. I don't think that he intentionally went to kill himself. However, I do think that he knew that he could be killed. It's like sex.
I'm more afraid of fentanyl than I was of COVID.
Me too.
Like I don't want to be near it. I feel like if I touch it, I'm gonna die.
Absolutely.
I don't think that there's a such thing as a little bit of fentanyl.
Nope. I don't either. Nope.
So I don't understand.
Nope. You're 100% right. I literally can't argue with you if I wanted to.
I feel like if there's might be fentanyl in the air.
Yeah.
I don't want.
And then if you're mixing fentanyl with cocaine, and there was a life loss here, so we want to be sensitive and nice to that. and condolences to that. But at the same time, I do want us to not act like people don't know the risk of doing drugs.
So unless it's like, remember Mac Miller, right? I think Mac Miller, they sold some, and the black guy too.
Yeah.
Juice WRLD?
No. The black actor guy. Those people, I think in both of their cases, in both of those cases, didn't they end up finding somebody who had gave them bad drugs?
They did.
So that type of situation, I understand, is like an accidental fentanyl.
Accidental fentanyl, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But like if you knowingly do fentanyl, then I don't think it's accidental.
No, because fentanyl, I feel like fentanyl is a 100% death drug.
Yes.
Like if you do it, the chances of you dying are 100%.
Yeah, I'm so tired of having this fentanyl drug talk with y'all.
I mean, it's the thing that's there.
But but it could have also been inside of his coke or whatever. It's not. I don't think people aren't just out here doing fentanyl. It takes less than 3. Yes,
that's what you're saying. You're saying that I'm not going to purchase fentanyl.
Yes.
Fentanyl is just embedded in a lot of the drugs.
They're cutting the drugs with it. They're cutting.
But even with that, though, too, regardless of fentanyl is in it, I know people survive off of these other drugs.
Yeah.
But when you do a cocktail of narcotics, I
It's a
feel
recipe
like
for disaster.
your chances of survival are very slim.
Yeah.
So I think that you are very knowledgeable about the risk that you are taking by doing a cocktail
The
of drugs.
article did say that he lost his father in May due to cancer that developed pretty quickly, pretty rapidly. So that could have been one of the things. But what I also think about is when it comes to these artists and these actors and stuff, was he doing drugs before Euphoria? Or did he start doing drugs because of the show?
Good question.
See what you did there.
You know what I mean?
Listen, we can't get this one high.
He is deep.
Like
deep today.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Nipsey Hussle murder true crime series set on Tubi. Oh wow. On Tubi. Tubi and Dan Abrams have teamed up on a true crime series, Behind the Crime, which will launch very soon on the Tubi network. And one of those stories will be Nipsey Hussle. It will be premiered following the September 20th premiere. Behind the Crime, the Nipsey Hussle murder, which follows the murder trial story and case of rap icon and street legend Nipsey Hussle, and it's told other accounts from the people involved and real footage from the actual situation. So that is going to be very interesting. Are you guys into the Tubi?
No.
Have you guys? I downloaded it once before, like when it first came out. It's like, what is that? The 5-minute movies or something like that?
No, they're just a whole like.
I heard it. Tubi's good. I heard Tubi.
Is it Tubi?
Movies are all trash movies.
Are they trash or are they low budget?
It's like Zeus Network movies.
Zeus Tubi? No.
Zeus Tubi.
Nuh-uh. Tubi. I heard Tubi is damn near giving Netflix a run for their money nowadays.
I'm gonna go watch some Tubis.
I watched a movie with Erica Mena.
Oh no, but I feel like it's more low budget.
Everybody's saying that. They're all saying that. They're saying ghetto ass movies.
It is. It's so trash. It's
bunch of Steven Seagal and
horrible.
Is it?
No, it's not even Steven Seagal. It's like 2 people that they found
with an iPhone
make a movie.
Is it quality?
No.
Quality? Is it one look like a shot from a Nokia?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
In beta.
Not in beta. Oh wow. It's still in testing phase. Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live turned me into a caricature of myself.
And I see that. I see that.
What does it look like?
I think she turned herself into a character.
I think
she allowed them to write her into that role and that typecast. Like Leslie when you see Leslie Jones, just like, like that. All right.
Take my candies.
I mean, I don't want to give her no animal reference or nothing, but I'm just saying. She allowed them to typecast her into that type of role, and then everything else that she did from that. Nobody wants to see Leslie Jones as a lawyer. Nobody wants to see that. Right? I can't stand
and that is the conclusion of our entertainment report on
I'm
this.
trying to
Friday.
be serious here.
You're not trying to be serious at all. Not even a little bit. And that's what makes me so angry about it. So whatever. Anyhow, I want them to put Krishan, Rock, Blue Neck, and the rest of them on somewhere. There was somebody else that I wanted to put on there the other day.
Tory Lanez in his hair.
Tory Lanez in his hair, and no, it was somebody like real, like everybody be like, oh yeah, that's true too. There's a lot of people that need to be on we're gonna make a list. We're gonna have a list here in the studio of people that have to go to the moon.
We should just make a
submersible. Yes, submersible. Who gets invited to the submersible? You know, we're gonna make a list here, and they're gonna be a good list, and then we got to vote on it with agree or disagree at the end of every month to keep you on it.
LaWanda said, peace, happy birthday, hot sauce.
Thank you. You guys look out for my pop-up party. It might pop up this week. It might pop up next week. It will pop up.
And happy 51st anniversary of coming to America to our family.
Yes. Happy that.
51 years we have been here now.
In the States.
No,
go back to where you came from. We belong here. You don't.
I don't smoke crack.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Spark FM Online.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.